This is the Kevin Trudeau Show.
I am exposing the corruption in government and in major multinational corporations. We're telling you the things that they don't want you to know that will make your life better.
Yes, Mr. I'm on the air. I'm on live. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Kevin Trudeau here, live in the studio. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. It's a beautiful day. We have a great show today. The 2 ways to lose all of your belly fat effortlessly. Stay tuned. We got a full hour today. It's going to be exciting. I'm Kevin Trudeau. This is the Kevin Trudeau Show. Everything they don't want you to know about to improve the quality of your life and make your life better. Glad to have you here. The first thing, I got a lot of things to talk about, and we are going to be talking about some health issues, effortless way to lose belly fat that they don't want you to know about. There's a reason why they want you to be fat and unhealthy. Maybe you can figure that out. Okay, so first, let's talk about a couple things. The world's best mentor, former insider. I get a question. I read the comments, and if you write comments, I do read them, and some comments are better than others. So make sure you comment and like the show, subscribe to the show, like the show, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to 5 days a week in the fall, Monday and Wednesday on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Rumble, and on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I will be on Rumble exclusively, and that's where I'm going to tell stuff that everybody else would censor. So that's coming. And then on Sunday, starting in the fall, I'm doing the scriptural show where I'm going to do a little taste today, showing you success principles out of spiritual text, whether it's the Old Testament or the New Testament of the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata or the Mahabharata, the Zohar, and a whole bunch of other scriptural texts that have been around for thousands of years you don't even know about. And this is going to be eye-opening for you. Very empowering. It's going to make you feel better, make you feel stronger, make you feel more powerful, make you feel more at cause over your environment, and increase your self-determinism so you can make things happen. But the first thing I want to talk about today is a question that comes up a lot, and it's a huge misunderstanding that people have. This is going to help you. The question is, why do bad things happen to good people? And why, if somebody is teaching the law of attraction, your wish is your command, how to manifest your desires, how do bad things happen to those people? How do bad things happen to enlightened, self-realized, perfected spiritual masters? Gandhi, self-realized, peace, love, I am vegetarian, no harm will I do to any living sentient being. No. Ant, do not step on ant. Rat in house. Oh, it's okay. Rat in house. Do not hurt rat. Sentient being. The guy loved everybody, didn't hurt a fly, and he gets beaten repeatedly, he gets put in jail repeatedly, and then he gets shot and killed. Well, if he is tapped into the universe, how did he attract all that crap into his life? If you look throughout history, whatever religion you partake in, look at your saints. St. Paul, who wrote half of the 2/3 of the New Testament, he had a pretty rough life. So here is a saint. I mean, a saint. A saint. And he's thrown in prison, he's beaten, and he's crucified. St. Peter, crucified. I mean, these guys, well, how does the law of attraction work? And then you look at guys who teach a course, Your Wish is Your Command, and get thrown in prison for 8.5 years when he did nothing wrong. That's me. held in contempt of court, and thrown in prison. How do bad things like that happen to good people who know how to manifest? Couldn't I just manifest not being thrown in prison? Couldn't I have manifested not going to prison or getting out of prison or winning my appeal? How come I couldn't use the law of attraction to manifest those things? So this is an interesting question. You can go through a litany of examples of very good people that are practicing and using the law of attraction, and they go bankrupt, or their marriage falls apart, or they get into a car crash. How did these things happen? You misunderstand something very significant. You look at someone else and their circumstances, their condition, what happens to them, and you say, that's bad. How do you know it's bad? How do you know that that person isn't creating that purposely? Number one, what you think is bad in another person's life may be their greatest blessing. And it's exactly what they've created. Kevin, don't tell me that. You're telling me that you wanted to go to prison? You're telling me that that guy wanted to get into a car crash and lose both of his legs? You're telling me you wanted that guy to have a heart attack? You're telling me you wanted that marriage to break up and go through a divorce and so forth? We don't manifest specific things. We manifest ideal scenes, end phenomena. The universe gives us the how. It gives us the specific things in order for us to get there. There's a story that I shared in the Your Wish is Your Command program about the man in China. And this man in China had a son that he loved, and he wanted the son to be happy and so forth. And the son had a horse. He loved the horse. And this was the only horse that the family in China had. They were very poor. And so to have a horse was a big thing. It was almost a source of affluence and wealth, one horse. One day, the horse ran away. The son forgot to lock up the corral, and the horse ran away. And the father looked at the son, and the son was, I'm so sorry, I forgot to mess up the corral. This hurts the family. We lost our only horse. How are we gonna plow the fields now? Because the horse pulled the plow, and what are we gonna do? We could starve without that horse. That horse was our life. It was our sustenance. And the father says, don't worry. The son said, but this is a bad thing. And the father said, bad? Maybe, maybe not. The next day, the horse came back with 10 other wild horses. Gabish, that means understand. Capisco, I understand. Capisce, you understand. Italiano. Understand? Verstehen Sie? Do you understand? But the story goes on. The son decided to break one of these wild horses, so he gets on the horse to try to break the wild horse. And the wild horse throws the son, and the son falls and breaks his leg. Which is a big thing back then in ancient times, is you can't just go to the hospital and get it set. I mean, the kid could die. The man's friends and relatives came and said, oh, your son broke his leg. That's so bad. And the man said, bad? Maybe, maybe not. The next day, the army came into the village to take all the young men and conscript them into the army and take them off to war where they were almost assuredly going to die. But they couldn't take this boy because he had a broken leg. Verstehen Sie? Understand? Capisce? Understand? The story goes on and on and on. So what you think is bad in another person's life is not necessarily bad. So there's two reasons why what you think is a bad thing happens to a good person. Number one, what you think is bad is not necessarily bad. It is the best thing in the longer term. I'll give you another story. I had a friend of mine came to me. He had 5 beautiful daughters, and he said, I want to quit smoking. I've tried everything. I can't quit. I know you're a magician with energy. Can you help me? And I looked at his field and I said, sure, let's work on setting your objective for quitting smoking. And rather than saying quitting smoking, let's say you want to live a healthy, long life. That's the end result, right? If you quit, you're going to have more energy. So write down all the benefits that you think you would achieve if you were smoke-free. I'm going to live longer. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to be calmer. And he listed all these wonderful benefits. My clothes are going to smell better. See, he always started off saying, my clothes are going to stink. No, your clothes aren't going to stink. Your clothes are going to smell better. So you start going through all these things of all the benefits. And he wrote them all down. By the way, we're having a major storm out there, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, if you can hear the rain, we're gonna float away here in a minute, right? That's rain. Okay, massive rain. So I had him write down all these things, and I worked on his field, and I got him into alignment. See yourself being smoke-free. Imagine your life being smoke-free. And he dialed this in. This put out into the universe this incredible attractor field, magnetic power to attract into his life being able to be smoke-free. About a week later, I notice he doesn't show up to the office. And he's an early riser. He's always the first guy in the office. He's not there. All day long, he's not there. I said, call the house. Nobody's answering the house. Now we're a little worried. What's happening? We finally got a hold of his wife, and she said he had a massive heart attack. He's in the ICU, emergency room in intensive care. I immediately rushed to the hospital. And they said, well, you can't see him. He's in intensive care. It's not too sure. So I kept calling, when can I see him? When can I see him? About 2 days later, he's out of ICU. He's stable. You can see him now. So I came in, talked to him, and how you feeling, He says, well, I've been better and I've been worse. I don't remember when I've been worse, but I'm sure I have been. He said, but I'll tell you, I appreciate you coming and so forth. Okay. Get well, get better. So about a week, maybe 10 days later, he comes back to work. Comes into the office. He says, Kevin, that law of attraction thing actually works. I says, what do you mean? He said, well, I've tried everything to quit smoking. He goes, even after we did that little session, I went home and matter of fact, I left your office, went outside and smoked. And I've been smoking ever since. So your law of attraction thing, I really doubted, because it didn't stop me from smoking. I was smoking as much as ever before. And then I had this massive heart attack. So clearly I couldn't smoke when I was in the ICU, and I couldn't smoke in the hospital. And when I went home, I just didn't even have the lung capacity to smoke. He said, but I'll tell you something. I am now smoke-free. I said, why? He says, the doctor came to me before I left, and he said, you have 5 young girls. Do you want to see them graduate high school? I said, well, of course. He goes, if you continue to smoking, I guarantee you will not see them graduate high school. He says, Kevin, man, that hit me so hard. It hit me right in the heart. Right then and there, I knew I'm smoke-free. Kevin, it's no willpower, man. I look at those girls. I have those pictures of the girls on my desk. I don't even think smoking. So here's the point. A bad thing, you would look at it, a bad thing happened. He had a massive heart attack. No, my friends, it wasn't a bad thing. It was a very, very good thing. You don't know what he's asking for in life. You see somebody have a heart attack, you see somebody get into an accident, and you think, there's no way they could want that. Well, he didn't want to have a heart attack, but it was the only way. The universe knows it was the only way in order for him to get what he really wanted, which was being smoke-free. In my particular case, before I went away, and this goes back 30 years, 40 years, 50 years almost, when I made the decision not to go on a spiritual path and live in a monastery, because I had gone into the oneness, I decided to take a different route, keep my spiritual life secret, put on a facade, if you will. And somebody asked me on Saturday's Zoom call, which I have for partners in the fan club only. It's exclusive to partners. It's free to partners. So if you're not a partner in the Kevin Trudeau fan club, you should consider becoming one. You get a monthly free Zoom call. And somebody asked me, Kevin, we've noticed that your eyes used to be very, very dark brown. Now they're blue or hazel or green, green, green. I said, yeah, I've taken off the veil. I've gotten rid of my invisibility cloak about the spiritual being that I have always been, but I have not revealed. Now it's time to do that. On my path, I decided to take the businessman route and put on that costume and be Kevin Trudeau businessman, marketing genius, guru, insider, that type of business, business guru, not spiritual guru. Businessman, marketing genius, international traveler, that type of guy. Okay. Make a lot of money, billions of dollars, Rolls Royces, Ferraris, mansions around the world, butlers, and all that stuff. That was the route I took. Because a lot of people think that's what life's all about. And if I had attained that, then people would say, I want to know what he knows. Well, if people want to know what I know about that, now I can tell them, let me tell you the real importance in life, which is the spiritual awakening within. Make sense? So I decided to take that route. And in doing so, I created businesses with thousands of employees around the world. And there was a time when I said to the universe, it's time for me to now follow 100% my mission. It's now time to step out and effectively engage the ministry that I'm destined to and was always destined to. Now it's the time. But I have all these things. I got all these companies and businesses. And I said, my ideal scene is that all of these are gone and I have a clean slate that I can start 100% fresh. That would be my ideal scene. I said, I also need some rest and I need to take some time off and rest, recharge the batteries, and I need to get quiet and go into the field so I can put together the Science of Personal Mastery course, all the training that I got in the Brotherhood, the most systematic step-by-step program to bring people to spiritual awakening and enlightenment and self-realization. Man, how is that going to happen with everything I got going? Well, I don't need to worry about the how. Universe, you figure it out. They figured it out. The universe came up with a pretty good plan. I'm going to have the court hold you in contempt of court, take away everything you own, and throw you in a federal prison camp for 8 years. And when this happened, I laughed because I thought it actually is the perfect scenario. It's a gift. I would have never written that this is what I wanted, but this is the perfect method and the route so I can get exactly what I desire. So this is why what you think is a bad thing, for me, was never a bad thing. It was a blessing. It was a gift. It was the perfect thing. I was thankful and grateful the entire time for this amazing gift. And I gave the gift back to you by producing the Science of Personal Mastery course, which is available free to Global Information Network members, and doing the show, writing new books, starting the Kevin Trudeau fan club. Well, I didn't start that. Tanya and Rahelios did. And now William and Matt run it. doing the partner program, answering questions, and really focusing on the Global Information Network. I got exactly what I asked for, and I could not be happier. The legal thing is it's the road. It's the road to Hana. I went to Hawaii years ago with my good friend, Dr. Alex Duarte, and Ed Beckley. Ed Beckley was one of the pioneers in the TV infomercial business. He had a program called The Millionaire Maker, How to Buy Real Estate with No Money Down. And Ed had this beautiful ranch kind of in the middle of nowhere near Hana in Hawaii. He said, you need to come in and spend a couple weeks in Hana. You and Alex. I'll take you to the 7 sacred pools. This is when you could actually swim in them. We'll do a whole bunch of great things. It'll be spectacular. I mean, it's paradise, man. I said, okay, good. I flew into the airport. He said, I'll pick you up. And I know Ed, he's rich. He's got tons of money, so I'm expecting the Rolls Royce to pick me up or something, or a limousine or something. And Ed's there dressed like I'd never seen Ed, Hawaiian style, sandals, shorts that I don't know when they were washed last. He's got a big, deep tan and this incredibly wrinkled, it looked like 20-year-old shirt. I mean, he looked like a poor surf bum that hadn't bathed in a while. His hair's all crazy, and he's like, hey. I go, man. You know, and I'm dressed up like a cool Hawaiian. I got nice slacks on, nice shoes, nice crisp ironed Hawaiian shirt, fedora. You know, I look at nice sunglasses. You know, I'm looking good, right? So I said to Ed, I said, all right, man. So he gets my bag, and he's driving a very old Volkswagen Thing. Now, if you don't know what a Volkswagen Thing is, it is a vehicle that's like a Jeep, but drives 10 times worse. The doors come off, there's no roof, it's wide open, and this is the boiling sun of Hawaii. And he's got this old off-road type of vehicle called the Volkswagen Thing. I look at that and I'm going, oh, there it is, yeah. I'm looking at this going, oh God. I go, how far a drive is it? And he goes, it's 3 hours. Maybe it was longer, but it was at least 3 hours. I go, 3 hours? God. But I'm thinking, no problem. We'll stop along the way. I'll have, some coconut juice, some type of cocktail with a little umbrella in it. Maybe get some fresh mango, have a nice something to eat along the way, stop a couple times if it's a long drive, do some sightseeing along the way. No problem. I'm thinking it's going to be a gorgeous drive. So we start, and then it's almost like he went off-road. And after about an hour, the road is like a dirt road. And I said, Ed, what's going on? He goes, well, this is the only road to Hana. And it's the only road to paradise. And this was boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. How many hours are we going to be doing this? While the sun is blazing down. Well, we finally got to Hana. We finally got to his paradise, and it was paradise. And it was worth the bumpy road. Many times in life, my friends, there's only one road to paradise. There's only one road to Hana, and it's going to be bumpy. It's not a bad thing. It puts everything in perspective. It allows you to release and let go. Stop hanging on tight. Stop needing and wanting control. And release. Allow the universe to give you all the blessings. So this is why good things happen ultimately, even though it may appear bad initially. And there's a second reason, and that is karma. Sometimes you have karma that you have to burn off, and when something happens that appears to be bad or challenging or appears to be adversity, do you respond or do you react? Most people react and resist. You're not burning off your karma, my friends. If something that happens to you that you don't want to happen, if something happens to you where you get triggered, you get stimulated, where you have an uncontrollable and irrational emotion, and it happens to all of us, unless you let that through and let that burn off, it'll continue. You'll have more and more situations, events, circumstances, conditions, and people trigger you and stimulate you and key things in, giving you uncontrollable, irrational emotions and more and more, quote, bad things, things that you don't want to happen. The only way to do that is to allow it to pass through you. You have to acknowledge how you're feeling. Don't deny it. Don't reframe it. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge, I am feeling this way. Acknowledge that you have an uncontrollable, irrational emotion. Acknowledge that something's keyed and something's activated, something's stimulated, that one of your buttons have been pushed, that you've been triggered. Acknowledge that I don't want this. I wish this wasn't happening. Acknowledge, don't deny. But number two, then welcome it. Don't resist it. What you resist will persist. You have to welcome it and say, the universe has provided this to me. I am not going to react to it, but I'm going to respond to it in a positive way. Remembering that in every adversity are the seeds of a greater benefit. This is the universe not doing things to us, but doing things for us. The universe does not do things to you. It does things for you. But most of you are so asleep and in a trance, you don't realize it. So take advantage of that. So that is why bad things appear to happen to good people. Or a better way of saying it is that is why apparently what things appear to be bad happen to good people. There's more. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Next year, I'll be having a book out on that whole subject, which gets into great detail, which will help you in every aspect of your life. Okay, a couple things here. I got a lot to talk about, which I'm never going to have time. Okay. The government, not just the U.S. government, governments around the world, lie to you and mislead you. I've been saying that for decades, and I've been giving you hundreds of examples. We have another one. USA Today, headline, the United States admits it lied about COVID vaccines to Philippines. The United States Defense Department admitted it spread lies in the Philippines about COVID vaccines. It is true that the Department of Defense lied. The U.S. administration followed a June 14th Reuters investigation that revealed, and the only reason they admitted it is because they were caught. It revealed how the Pentagon launched a secret psychological operation in the Philippines, spreading lies. And it said how they did it. They used phony internet accounts with tens of thousands of followers meant to impersonate Filipinos, social media posts, etc. Look, the U.S. government and governments around the world routinely lie to you for their own purposes. This is why you can't believe anything on social media. You can't believe anything on the internet. You can't believe anything that the news say. And you can't believe anything the newspapers say. And now some of you who are smart saying, then Kevin, how come you just believe that article? That article I investigated. You can't blindly believe anything you read. It certainly can stimulate an investigation and you can get more details. That makes sense, doesn't it? Does that make more sense than just blindly following, hey, don't believe anything I say either. Experience for yourself, and then you'll know it's true. All right, here's another one that goes in the Kevin Was Right file. Here's another one that's in the Kevin Was Right file. I've been telling you how politicians are paid, bribed, payoffs, corruption. They basically do the bidding of whoever's paying them. I've been saying this for decades. I've given hundreds of specific examples. You still think that this politician is a good guy and this one's a good woman and you're going to vote for that person. Look, they're all nothing but puppets on the string. They just do whatever they're paid to do. LinkedIn billionaire is going all in on Kamala Harris, but he wants her to make a big change. This is CNN, by the way. Now, some of these articles that you notice that I'm rattling off, if you are on any of the news services, let's say, there's Google News, there's Apple News. Trey, what are some of the other big news services out there?
Drudge would be one.
Okay, Drudge, maybe Newsmax.
Yeah, Newsmax.
Okay, so people have different news feeds. You're just seeing some of the headlines that the algorithms want you to see. You have to really dig to see some of these reporters and some of these journalists who are actually digging up good stuff. But that information you never see. I don't think I'll ever see this one. LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman is throwing his financial firepower behind Vice President Kamala Harris. Oh, okay, there we go. So why would this guy back Kamala Harris? He's a businessman. Look, you can argue about policy, but at the end of the day, Trump and that administration is probably going to be better for businesses and the economy than the Democrats. And it's been pretty historic. People can argue that, okay, and we can have disagreements, but that's the general rule of thumb. So why would this businessman want Kamala in? Because he's looking at both people and he said, he wants something. Reid wants something. How do I get what I want? If Trump gets in, I'm not going to get what I want. But if Kamala gets in and I give her a lot of money, then she'll take me off to the side and go, yeah, you make that donation to the super PAC, you got it. This is how it works in real life, by the way. It goes on to say that the billionaire wants Harris to win in November so she will install a new antitrust cop at head of the Federal Trade Commission. So here we got the president of LinkedIn. The Federal Trade Commission is the agency that's going after me, by the way. They're evil. They're no good. The agency doesn't go after anybody. People do. Many people in the Federal Trade Commission are excellent, outstanding servants of the people doing what they think is best for the citizens. The taxpayers. For the consumers who live in the United States. So there's many people at the Federal Trade Commission who are doing an outstanding job at really protecting the best interests of the consumers of the United States. And then there's some, there's some who drank the Kool-Aid. They're actually just doing the bidding of whoever's in charge, not knowing that what they're doing is actually to the detriment of the consumers of the United States. And they're doing they're political operatives, they're political assassins, effectively. They don't even know it. It's like MK Ultra, except they're not using a gun. I happen to know one of those guys. I'm not going to mention his name. I think he drank the Kool-Aid. But he's an outstanding lawyer. I got to tell you, I say it all the time. When he's there in court against me, I respect his abilities as a lawyer. And if he was ever in private practice, I would want him to represent me, quite frankly. He's a damn good lawyer. I think he drank the Kool-Aid, and I think he would, if he was honest, he would know that what he's doing is wrong, the way he's been treating me. and I think he's just following orders. I can't believe he's that blind. I really can't believe it. I really cannot. I won't believe it until I think he's just following orders and wants his job and wants his promotions, and I think he's caught between a rock and a hard place. The bottom line is the Federal Trade Commission is doing things that are not in the best interest of Reed, the co-founder of LinkedIn, and LinkedIn. And so this billionaire said, I need to get rid of this guy. I need to get rid of the person in charge of the Federal Trade Commission. Is it a guy or a girl? Lina Khan. I don't know if that's a woman or a guy. The current head of the Federal Trade Commission. But Reed wants Lina Khan, the head of the FTC, gone because Lina Khan, the head of the FTC, is causing Reed, co-founder of LinkedIn, lots of problems. Now, if Reed, he has an option. He can call up Sam Giancana. No, I guess Sam Giancana, the Chicago mob boss, is dead. Sammy the Bull Gravant, no, he's gone. John Gotti, no, he's gone. Well, you can call some mobster and say, hey, help me, right? No, those are the old days. So he can't do that. So what he has to do is he has to pay a politician, president, to get rid of this FTC person who is a thorn in Reed's side. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works. And I'll give you thousands of examples, but that's how it works. All right, now this one is a funny story. When I saw it, I loved this one. There are two stories here. The first one is a person, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, a person goes into a bar. A person goes into a chicken shop, and I don't know if it was Hooters or Wings or whatever, Popeyes or something, and decides they want to have some wings, which itself is the biggest scam going, because in the old days, wings were for poor people. Nobody would even eat a chicken wing because that's what poor people ate. Rich people wouldn't do it. They used to throw them away. They were like useless. And then somebody said, hey, with some slick marketing, we can convince stupid people that these are delicious. Eating all the skin, which is what you get mostly skin. You gnaw on a bone, you get a little bit of meat, and you get all messy, but we'll convince them it's fantastic and we'll charge them a premium price for it. Man. So people eat chicken wings now, which used to be thrown away and fed to pigs. Okay. And you're thinking, but Kevin, I really like chicken wings. I get it, man. Have some more fried chicken wings. And you said you want to lose some weight, you said? Yeah. Have a double dose. Have some more chicken wings. Those wings coming in yet? Are we the garlic and the onion sauce, or what is it? The lemon and the garlic, the honey lemon sauce. All right. So this person goes into the store and says, "I want some chicken wings," and then looks at the menu and notices that there's an option. There's something called boneless chicken wings. This person scratches his head, said, I like wings, but I don't like gnawing on the bone, and it's kind of messy. So this restaurant actually takes the chicken wing and mechanically takes the bones out, and now maybe presses it together a little bit, and now I have a chicken wing just without the bones. This is brilliant. So they place an order for boneless chicken wings. That's what it's called. Now you have to be honest in your advertising. I know this because the Federal Trade Commission always tells me you have to be 100% truthful. You cannot mislead or deceive anyone. Kevin, if you say the diet's easy, you're deceiving them. because it may not be easy to some people. So everything you say has to be 100% true. Nothing can be in a gray area. Okay, so this is a boneless chicken wing. The guy gets it. He bites into one and goes, this ain't a boneless chicken wing. This is a chicken nugget. They didn't take a chicken wing and debone it. Hey, I've had deboned chicken. It is a chicken where mechanically the bones have been separated, and then you get what's left. I've had deboned duck. I've had boneless chicken breast. It's a chicken breast with the bone on it, and they mechanically separate the breast from the bone, and then they say, here's the breast. It's a boneless chicken breast. All accurate. They did not take a chicken wing and mechanically deboned it. As a matter of fact, what this guy was eating, he knew there's no chicken wing meat in it. It's the garbage meat that they throw away from the chicken, but it ain't a chicken wing. It isn't the meat from the chicken wing. It's just garbage trimmings that they were going to throw away, and they pressed it together and they formed it into like this little thing, and they called it a boneless chicken wing. It's not a boneless chicken wing. They lied. In fact, we should call the Federal Trade Commission and alert them to this outrage. Absolute outrage. You know something? I should sell boneless chicken wings and see if they sue me. They'll sue me. Oh, Trudeau's misleading the public again. He's selling boneless chicken wings and they're not boneless chicken wings. Anyway, so this guy sues and said, I've been defrauded. I don't even know what the status is with that suit. So that's the first hysterical thing, which the guy should win. No one should be allowed to sell boneless chicken wings that are not chicken wings that have been deboned. Instead, they're just selling nuggets made of crap. So here's the point, ladies and germs. I like the ladies, the guys. If you go to a restaurant and you like chicken wings, no problem. Get the chicken wings. Never order boneless chicken wings. It is the crap of the chicken. It is a pressed form, ultra-processed product. The meat in there, none of which comes from chicken wings. Don't be scammed. Don't be deceived. Thank you, Kevin. So here's the next one that came out, and I thought this was hilarious. So a person, and again, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, goes into a bar. And he says, I want some boneless chicken wings. He obviously has not heard my dissertation that I just gave you. So he doesn't know. He thinks these are actually deboned chicken wings. But he knows that there's a word there called boneless. Now, if you look up the word boneless, it means without bones. Semicolon. No bones. Semicolon. Free of all bones. That's what the word boneless means. So he buys some boneless, no bones, free of bones, without bones, chicken wings, because he just wants 100% chicken without any bones. He thinks it's the meat of the chicken wing, but it's not. But that's okay. So he gets it and he bites into it, and guess what happens? Oh, I got a bone caught in my throat. He doesn't die, thank God. He doesn't get any severe injuries, but he's annoyed. I ordered boneless chicken wings, and son of a gun, there was a bone in it. So he sues. It goes to the It goes to the Ohio Supreme Court. The Ohio Supreme Court said, hey, just because they said it's boneless, you can't expect it to have no bones. boneless chicken wings can have bones after all. Wall Street Journal. I want to sell boneless chicken wings with bones in it. I'm going to actually add bones into the boneless chicken wings, which have no chicken wing meat, which, number one, are not mechanically separated chicken wings, and I want them to have bones, and I want to send them to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, and saying, hey, if you don't sue anybody else, you can't sue me. I should make $1 billion selling boneless, with bones, non-chicken wing chicken wings. Complete deception to the public, but no problem. See, somebody else does it. It's okay. All right. Before I get to this, I gotta talk about something else. No, I am going to talk about this. This goes in the Kevin Was Right file. If you read the book Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About, I talk about the reasons you get sick. If you have a headache, it's not because you have a Tylenol deficiency. So people are always looking for some magic pill to cure them of their illness. I got high blood pressure. What's the cure? I got diabetes, Kevin. What's the cure? Got colon cancer, Kevin. What's the cure? I got sleep apnea, Kevin. What's the cure? I'm obese. What's the cure? I got eczema. What's the cure? I got ED, erectile dysfunction. What's the cure? Everybody has some issue, and then they want the cure. They're asking the wrong question. The real question is, what caused it? And if you read the book Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About, hold on. Natural health expert. #1 New York Times bestselling author of Natural Cures, which is right over there. Nope, it's over there. There you go. Okay, well, it's over there. Getting closer. There it is. See it right there? There we go. There we go. Okay. Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About, which, by the way, next year I have a brand new edition coming out, 2025 edition of Natural Cures. That's coming out next year. I talk about what you put in your body is causing most of the illness and disease, and there is a little headline here which says half, CNN Health, half of all adult cancers caused by what you put in your body. You cause it with the chemicals that are in the food that you're eating and in the water and in what you're breathing. But I also talk about the pesticides and herbicides and fungicides that are put in our food supply in addition to genetically modified food. And I was crucified by ABC News. I was crucified by NBC News. There's no study that says pesticides have any problem with your health, blah, 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 blah. I go, there's plenty. It's just not being reported. All right, here we go. Study links specific pesticides to 6 kinds of cancer. So this article goes on to say about the studies that prove that pesticides on the food that you're eating causes cancer. Next one. Pesticides, a bigger cancer risk than smoking. Oh, is it proven that smoking cigarettes causes cancer? Well, of course, every idiot knows that. Okay, how about eating vegetables? Does that cause cancer? Yes. As a matter of fact, if you smoke cigarettes, you have a chance of getting cancer. If you're eating vegetables in the United States or around the world that have pesticides on them, you'll have a higher chance of getting cancer. Are you listening? That goes in the Kevin Was Right file. I'm not even going to talk about this. I already talked about it 1,000 times. Read the freaking book. Now, in addition to pesticides, we have the ultra-processed foods that you're consuming. And in America, and also in the UK, and it's similar in Canada and Australia and New Zealand, and it's a little less in Europe, a little less in Asia, a little less in Japan. There's something called ultra-processed foods. A 30-year Harvard, it's actually pronounced Harvard, like car. You know, you park the car in Harvard yard. And car is spelled C-A-H. Okay, so a 30-year-long Harvard study reveals ultra-processed food causes early death. Early death. Oh, Kevin, don't worry. I'm not that concerned. I don't eat that much ultra-processed food. Well, ladies and germs. No, guys. You guys are okay. Ladies and gentlemen. I called somebody a lady one time and she was pissed off. I go, what are you talking about? Gentleman is the highest thing you could call a man in our culture. And a lady is the highest form of respect you can give a woman. Doesn't matter if she's the CEO of a company or if she's a full-time mom. It doesn't matter where she is on the economic scale or work scale or business scale, whether her career is raising a family, being a wife and a mother, which is, I think, one of the highest callings out there. Raising children shouldn't be delegated to the state. Oh, let me just give the kids to the teachers and let them raise them. Opinion, everybody has a different one, and I respect yours, whatever it is. Whether you're the CEO of a company and you're female, it doesn't matter. If I call you a lady, I'm giving you the highest level of respect. From my standpoint, and if you're offended, you have a problem. If I'm triggering you, good. I do it on purpose. 85% of the food that is consumed in the United States is classified as ultra-processed. 85%. Oh, Kevin, I eat organic food. Oh, time out, slow down, smarty pants. Just to prove a point, I went to Whole Foods and I just grabbed some things that said organic. Remember, there's three things. There's something called made with organic ingredients, which is a scam because that means I think 10% of the ingredients have to be classified as organic. The rest can be poison. Then the word organic means I think 50% has to be organic. The rest can be poisons. And then 100% organic, which means only 90% have to be organic, 10% can be poisons. So even 100% organic is 100% organic. So I got stuff that's organic, and I got some organic sauerkraut. It's ultra-processed, even though it has the word organic on it, because 50% of the product, maybe it's 70 or 80%, is organic, but it's still, they took an organic product and then ultra-processed it. So 85% of the food you're eating is ultra-processed. And it will lead, and it does lead to early death. Next article. Just how bad are ultra-processed foods? Well, it lists the problems. Number one, they make you gain weight. Next, they give you high blood pressure. Next, they give you depression. Next, they give you diabetes. Next, they give you cancer. Next, they make you die early. Next, they give you sleep apnea. Next, erectile dysfunction, and the list goes on. Eczema, skin problems, acne, ultra-processed foods. That goes into Kevin was right about. And there's more. I can't even get to it all. There's just so much. All right. Where am I now? This one here. I'll be Guru, and I will be World's Best Mentor. All right, so we got Guru and World's Best Mentor. I get a question all the time. I just spent an evening with people that finished up the money processes. We had a wonderful dinner together. And one of the things I did was I walked around the room as we were getting together, and I touched people on the shoulder, and people started shaking. A couple people started shaking. Another person said that he almost passed out, and he asked me what I did. What did I do? I said, well, look, and they could see the transference of Shakti or energy, which is what I did in just a moment. And being in that room, my eyes got incredibly green because I raised the vibrational frequency of the room and created this massive attractor field bubble where whatever was put out in that field is going to manifest in a person's life much faster. If that can happen in a few minutes in my personal contact. Oh, and by the way, people ask me questions all night too. They were like, you know, I've been following you. I've been a member of GIN. I've been a member of the fan club for years. And I've listened to all the training. I've read the books you said. And I watch your show on Rumble and YouTube and things. I participate in the live Zoom calls as a partner. I send questions in. But to be here and ask you a question, have you answer, and have that dialogue back and forth, this was more helpful and had a bigger impact than everything else almost combined. Because of that, I am doing something that I've never done before, and I may never do again. And it comes out of a need. I mentioned I'm dealing with the Federal Trade Commission. They have said, the lawyer went on the Federal Trade in court, and he said, I want to thank the 30 full-time lawyers that have been working on this case against Mr. Trudeau. 30 lawyers for somebody who has not one customer complaint, not been charged with a crime, to basically stop me from revealing information they don't want you to know about. I have one part-time lawyer because they can't work full-time because I haven't paid them the money that I owe them. I had $1.5 million in legal bills. People have contributed to the Kevin Trudeau Legal Defense Fund, and we've knocked it down to about $750,000. But my monthly bills run around $100,000 a month. And in order for me to defend myself, we need to bring in 10, 20 lawyers to fight off the 30 lawyers that are attacking me. So I've set up the KT Legal Defense Fund for people to contribute. And any contribution you make there, $10, $5, $100, $1,000 is great. And 100% of that money, 100% goes to pay the lawyers. The guys who run it do it as volunteers. I don't get a single penny, and there's no expenses. 100% of the money goes in, and then it goes right to the lawyers. That's great. But what I'm doing is next year, I was talking to the people at the GoldenDoorSpas, which is a world-famous spa I've been going to for decades. Some of the wealthiest people in the world go to the spa and have for over 50 years. It is spectacular and magnificent. It's in Southern California. It's a one-week program. It starts on Sunday and ends the following Sunday. It maxes out at 30 people. Billionaires, multi-billionaires have been there, sleeping in those beds, being in those grounds, those hollowed grounds. The vibrational frequency that has been created there over the decades with all this wealth, anybody who goes into that frequency, you are permanently changed. And it's just this wealth magnetic field, this attractor field that just impermeates you with wealth attracting vibrations. They said, why don't you invite people to come here for a week, and that way if they give you the money, they can come here, and that way you can pay off your legal bills. So I graciously accepted that. I thought it was fantastic. And so what I'm doing is I'm having a 1 week retreat, if you will, at the world famous Golden Door Spa next year. We're already 1/3 sold out. So I think there's 20 spaces left. This is for people who are willing to make a $15,000 contribution to the Legal Defense Fund. So if you make a $15,000 to the Legal Defense Fund by going to ktlegalfund.com, then we'll reach out to you and give you all the details, and then you are available to come for this 1 week with me. And every day I'll be working with everyone, and it's going to be a magnificent week. Trey, let's show some of the pictures of this place, because I want to describe what this place is. It's in Southern California, outside of San Diego. That's the pool, one of the pools. The whole place is like a Japanese zen. The food, by the way, is incredible. You even have a little wine if you choose, although it is spa cuisine. This is, yeah, let's go through those pictures one at a time. So here's the gardens. You can see it's all Japanese. They have their own a garden where they get all organic produce. That's the cold plunge pool you can get into in one of the spas. This is one of the lunches that you get. It's world-class cuisine, spa cuisine. You will lose weight. This is one of the lobbies that you can sit and relax. On a hike, this is one of the hiking areas that you can see. Again, some more vegetables that you get, or fruits. This is one of the rooms, all the room. You get your own private room with own private bathroom. And it's all world class. You can see it's first class all the way. This is where the billionaires go. You can see the bamboo forest in the back. They have rowing machines and classes. They have a full exercise classes all day. Rowing is one of them. This is one of the, oh, this is a place where we meet before dinner. Let's go to the next one. They have tennis courts and pickleball. Next. This is on the hike. This is the bamboo forest, as you can go for a walk on your own, or they have classes. This is one of the treatment rooms. You get body scrubs here. There's the koi pond, and that's where the dining room is. You dine inside or outside. This is our gong, which will let you know you're coming to dinner. Again, the gardens and the grounds where you live. Again, this is where you live, and this is where the facilities are. More delicious food. Another view of what you're walking through. They have a beautiful meadow. If you want a little snack in the afternoon, you can get anything you want. There's the pool. We have al fresco dining there if the weather permits, out by the pool. This is one of the rooms. All the rooms are very similar. Here's one of them. There's a walk there. Some food. One of the living quarters where you stay. Again, everyone gets their own private room, the bamboo forest. When you're walking and hiking, and that's also the garden. Another sitting area. There's flowers everywhere. It's very zen, as you can see. Next. Again, another area where you can just get some sun if you just want to lounge by the pool. Breakfast. Breakfast is served either in your room or in the dining room. Another beautiful area where those are sleeping rooms. There's a great water volleyball game every day at noon. Hiking. Again, it's just absolutely magnificent and gorgeous. Again, very Japanese in feel. We put on that kimono every night for dinner. It's almost very zen-like and calms us down. It is a world-famous spa. If you were to just book it on your own, it's $15,000. So it's the same price. And what you get is everything is included. All of your meals, all of your snacks. You get a massage every single day in your room. You get a facial every single day. A pedicure, a manicure. If you want a haircut or hair or scalp treatments, those are available. There's hot stone massage. There's aromatherapy. There's reflexology available, breath work. You also get 3 herbal wraps in the week. You get a body scrub in the week. They have sauna, steam, hot tub. They have lap pool. It is magnificent. It is absolutely magnificent. And all day you can do as much or as little as you want. Start early in the morning with meditation. Then you can go for a hike. They have 3 different hikes. They have a long hike, a mountain hike, which is about an hour and a half. They have a medium hike, and then just a meadow walk. You don't have to do anything, or you can do everything. They have stretching classes, Pilates. They have a full gym where you get a personal training session every day if you want, where a personal trainer will give you and help you based on your physical capabilities, give you a training workout. They have boxing, kickboxing. They have Tai Chi, Qigong. They have bike classes, spinning classes. They have rowing classes. They have lots of yoga. They have tennis lessons if you want, pickleball. There's archery. There's the list goes on and on and on and on and on. You can even learn origami, and I took a class on the Japanese tea ceremony. They have two beautiful labyrinths, meditation. There's just so many things you can do. I will be there working with everybody. You can do as much or as little as you want. It's available for both men and women. It's going to be a co-ed week. If you want to spend an entire week with me and have your life completely transformed spiritually and physically, this is going to be spectacular. And it's one of a kind. It's a world-class spa, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have a snack in the morning, a snack in the afternoon. If you want things sent to your room, they do it. Protein shakes, nuts, juice, fruit, anything you want, they'll do. The meals are spectacular. You get to pick out what you want. Any dietary restrictions is not an issue. You'll be pampered. If you want to exercise and lose weight, you'll do that. If you just want to relax, you can do that. If you want to be pampered all week and just do that. If you want to be on your own or hang out with other people and do things as a group, you can do that. I'll be doing classes every single day. I will be there. Just by going into the compound, remember, you're going to be sleeping in a bed that some billionaire has been sleeping in, multiple billionaires, for decades. The energy, the Shakti, the Chi energy that permeates this whole place is going to transform you. And it's going to be magical. And the fact that I'm going to be there doing all my spiritual work and meditation work and energy work is going to be magnificent. This is something that's going to get the legal bills paid. And I've talked to the lawyers. I've told them this is how I'm going to be paying the legal bills, because they have finance committees, and they said, we can't continue to represent you. We can't do appeals. We can't write briefs because we can't bill more until you get this paid down. So I showed them this plan, and they said, well, let's see how many people sign up. So I mentioned this just to fan club partners a week or two ago, and I think we got close to 10 people already signed up, close to that. So it's about a third already sold. It's first come, first serve. It's next June. It is next June. I know that's almost 10 months away, but it is going to sell out. And when you book, now you're locked in, because this is going to sell out probably in the next few weeks. So, or 30 days, or nobody knows. Could be 60 or 90 days before it sells out, but it is going to sell out. So if you'd like to spend an entire week with me. Now, to put this in perspective, if you just went to the Golden Door without me there, it costs 15 grand. That's number one. Number two, if you take a weekend seminar with Tony Robbins or any Les Brown or any of these guys who are fantastic, and I know them. Les is a good friend of mine. They charge 15 grand or more for a weekend seminar, for a weekend event. And that doesn't include your meals. And it doesn't include the hotel. And it doesn't include massages every day. And it doesn't include a personal trainer every day. And it doesn't include body scrubs and facials and pedicures and manicures. And it doesn't include all that stuff. For 15 grand, you're getting a week with me. You're getting all of your accommodations, all of your food, all of your snacks, a massage every day, a pedicure and manicure. You're getting a facial every day. You're getting 3 herbal wraps in the week. You're getting a full body scrub. These things cost, hundreds of dollars each. It's all included. So this is a phenomenal deal, number one. Phenomenal. And you get the whole week with me. So it is something special. And certainly not everybody can afford it. But all you have to do is just pay for the flights to get to San Diego. You don't even have to pay for the airport transfer. They will pick you up at the airport, no cost, and drive you. You come in on Sunday, and you leave the following Sunday afternoon. You can leave early if you want, but generally people come around midday on Sunday. That's when they arrive, either mid-morning or early afternoon. And then they usually leave either on the morning, Sunday morning, somewhere in the morning, or midday the following Sunday. Some people leave on a Saturday because they need to leave a little early. But generally, they come in on Sunday and leave on Sunday. So if you're considering that, I would ask you to strongly consider it. Number one, this is going to be a spectacular event for you. It is going to be a life-changing, miracle-producing week. unlike anything anyone has ever experienced. I can guarantee you that. It is going to be special. No one's ever done that type of spiritual retreat at this type of location where you have billionaire after billionaire after billionaire after billionaire who has been in those beds, in that facility. That whole place, when you come through the golden doors, it is transformative. There is an energy, people have seen it. I've asked Gary, take a look at the golden door. Oh my God, he said. That's like, on planet Earth, there's nothing like this because there's no place where that many billionaires have come that consistently for 50 years. So the energy bubble, the wealth creating, wealth attracting energy field that's there is off the charts, combined with the spiritual energy, because the whole idea of the golden door was for spiritual awakening and physical cleansing and strengthening of the body. It wasn't to create wealth. That happened because wealthy people went there. So it was originally a spiritual awakening. So when wealthy people went, they were going not to create more wealth. They were going to cleanse themselves spiritually and get in physical shape and feel better. So you have the trifecta of success energy attractor fields that are there. Health, the food and the exercise. Wealth, which was added with all the billionaires going, and happiness, the spiritual enlightenment. And when I am there, I'm adding to it times 10,000. I'm 10,000 times increasing the intensity of the spiritual awakening and enlightenment coming out of your trance energy, self-realization energy, spiritual awakening energy. The wealth energy is there and the health energy is there, and I'm increasing and intensifying all those frequencies as well. It's going to be a spectacular week. So I would encourage you, because I know people are going to be just kicking themselves, oh man, I missed it. It is going to be, wait till you see the comments of people after they go through that week. So go to ktlegalfund.com. We take credit cards now, so if you want, you can email us when you go there. There's an email address and say, I want to use a credit card. We can do that. I think they have right on there. It should be right on there. If you have a hard time, just email us and we'll sort it out. You can also wire the money or send in a check. ktlegalfund.com, $15,000 contribution, not tax deductible, but it's a contribution to the Legal Defense Fund. I get not one penny. I don't get one penny to do this. 100% of the money goes to the lawyers. So it's going to be a spectacular, spectacular week. I did not get to, I'm looking at the clock, I'm already overtime. I did not get to the ways to reduce belly fat. I promise you that's the first thing I'm going to talk about on the next show. So make sure you tune into the next show. First thing I'm going to talk about are the effortless ways to get rid of belly fat and a whole bunch of other stuff too. I'm Kevin Trudeau. Thanks for watching The Kevin Trudeau Show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, leave comments, share this with everyone you know, and keep tuning in over and over and over and over again so we get these numbers up so you can keep the show on the air. Remember, you can achieve anything you put your mind to. You know where that comes from, Trey? That comes from Back to the Future, right? You know that. Back to the Future. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. I'll see you all at the top, and may you never be the same.